Hi, my name is John and I'm a level 3 QHHT practitioner, and sometimes we get some clients that we really look forward to, and this particular client, I look forward to her session when she booked it in maybe a month prior or 6 weeks prior, maybe something like that. And when I was talking to her just on the phone, just seeing what she wanted the session for, she's had lots of visitations from ETs, to a point where she was actually coming into the body back in the morning when she was waking up, and she knew that she was somewhere and she knew that they were doing something to her, but she actually had physical marks on her body. And she was never worried about it because she was always safe, but she was just so curious in what was actually going on in her consciousness and what she had agreed to and why everything was going on. So it was a bit of a textbook straight out of Dolores Cannons books session, and her questions were very interesting. And in her session, she actually went right back to the beginning of time when Source split off and souls were created, and then it goes through the history of Earth itself, which was pretty fascinating. And I sort of just let her just talk because I didn't want to influence any information. I just wanted to keep it pure. So if there are pieces of the session that you're not sure of, please look up Dolores Cannons books, because you'll get all the explanations of either her YouTube channel or her books itself. So this was a really interesting one. As usual, I've cut out a lot of it because a lot of it has to do with her deeply personal stuff, which I never ever share and I never will share over the internet. So I really hope you enjoy it. She had a couple of really interesting questions, and there was a couple of fascinating things. We never know what's going to happen in a QHHT session. And her higher self actually told her a few things that she wasn't even aware of. So that's always super interesting as well. So the audio sometimes gets a little bit quiet because while people are under hypnosis, sometimes they're just really concentrating, because it's exactly what Dolores said. It's basically time travel, and she was in a really deep space and really deep hypnotic state. So she was actually really concentrating, and she was in full connection basically right from the start with the invisible world, which was absolutely fascinating. So I hope you enjoy the pieces of the session, and if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments or send me an email. It's very much, she talks about the new earth and what's happening, and a little bit about the Pleiades and Arcturians and how we're creating hybrid breeds down here on Earth. And she talks about the new custodians that are going to take over the new Earth and just look after it how it was supposed to be. So I won't tell you too much, but thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy it. And tell me, do you feel like that's the only book there? Or is there others around?
No, it's just laying on the table. And I'm just looking at it. It's like it's glowing. And the words are actually in light. Music. They have sound. I can see notes. Like notes that you see when you play a piano coming from them. But they're not notes. They're light. The floor below me now is like a river. It's flowing like light.
What do you feel like doing?
Following it, standing on it and moving with it.
Is it moving pretty fast?
No. It's like like a flow. Come to a junction and it's flowing in different directions. Now, which way do I go? It's like a junction.
Mm-hmm. Just follow your own intuition.
Down the middle.
In the middle. Beautiful.
There's a wall. I'm not to go there. It's just like an essence. It's just a barrier for now.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like's on the other side of the wall there?
Knowledge. A boat's appeared, like a canoe.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I'm in the canoe.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone under a bridge. I've gone under it. There's a city.
What does it look like?
Light. Different colours. It's a city of light. There's people.
What are they doing?
They're arranging something into balls, like energy streams.
I see.
Oh, beginning of creation. They're souls.
Mm-hmm.
And their souls are being given note, an energy. Each soul has its own vibration, own note. And I'm in this area where souls are being given their own identity, their own signature. It's a signature.
Mm-hmm. How do you sense that they feel about that?
Oh, they're happy.
They're happy?
They're being given life. They're like babies. And then they kind of go like on a, any way I can explain, it's like a conveyor belt to another area. And what do they do with them there? They're taught, they're given energy, and the energy is giving them knowledge of who they will be. The Creator can bring them back if they need to come back. Why would they need to come back? Darkness. I see darkness.
See,
If they go off track.
they can come back.
Be recalibrated. It's like a logos. It's like a splitting off of one huge, it's like one huge energy source, and it's giving off like little babies, little energy beings. And those energy beings are being given their own identity, own signature to go and explore. And then they come back and they deliver the information they have back into the big computer, the big source. Yeah. It's just a game. It's just a game. Knowledge, understanding, to know itself.
And tell me, do you feel like you have a form there at all?
No, I'm just observing, just watching. Yeah, just watching. They haven't been given consciousness yet. They go to another place to have consciousness.
Is that in the same place or is that somewhere else?
I think it's somewhere else they go. No, they learn. They've got to learn.
What do they have to learn?
The children got to learn to be all one. To be one, not single. They were single. They've separated and then they've got to come back to be one. Once they learn everything.
So what happens when they learn everything?
They have a choice. They can choose where they like to go and experience and learn. They have different cultures. They have different civilizations. To experience, to be a part of the one, like a hive mind, or to be separated, be single. Oh, no. No.
But they have a choice.
They do. They do. But they learn once you know that you feel separated and you find your way back to be. It's like a cell separating in the body and then joining back up again. And knows that they need to rely on each other. It's all experience. It's learning. It's all learning. It's like a big book. Learning. It's like we have free choice to come and have any experience you want to do. Because Source wants to know itself in everything and anything. And you can do that. But don't go too deep. You won't get out. You won't get out.
Get out of what?
The muck. It's like the bubbling muck.
So what happens to the ones that get caught in that?
They struggle. They struggle. And when their time in that existence finishes, they review it. And they can have a choice to try something else. But some last a long time. They don't get out. It's like being in wet, thick oil. Because they're light and they shouldn't be like that. Light is light. It's light. It's not dark.
And for those ones
Heavy, like baggage, holding you down. Nothing can vibrate. It's not light, not easy.
And for those ones that go down in that mucky ickiness, are they even aware that they're in it?
No. They slide. They slide. It has happened to Earth. It's happened to Earth. They destroyed themselves. Sad. It was sad. Just destroyed themselves. They couldn't get out.
So what happened there? Tell me about what happened there.
They were happy here. They were like little energy creating beautiful world. They lost the knowledge.
So what happened then?
The earth was destroyed. They destroyed themselves. They destroyed that existence. But there wasn't much there. There wasn't much there. That was only just starting to get off the ground.
So what happened after that?
Dolphins are going to come and the whales will be in the next one. There'll be water. It won't be so harsh. They will play their music to lift them.
I see. So where did the dolphins and the whales come from?
They come from a civilization. They have their own planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a water world. It's beautiful. Everything's bright colours. It's like iridescent. Everything's iridescent. And they sing their music. Their song, their singing is music, and it vibrates, which lifts the energy of the planet.
And tell me, were they quite willing to go?
Yes, they came. Like we all do, we volunteer. This earth is so beautiful. So many butterflies, so many birds, so many flowers, different species.
So tell me, what happened after the whales and the dolphins and the water came?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But once again, darkness started coming in. A lot of things happened. So many different ways, they went in different directions. Beings went, the lights went in all different directions, created different civilizations. Some decided they were going to be more dominating than the other. Great wars happened. Source was not happy, but it gave them free will. It must allow them to continue to learn. The suffering was bad.
So where did all them come from then?
From Source. Source had to learn. Source wanted to know what it was like. It's all just learning.
It's all just an experience.
Yes. Yeah. Like a book, just turning the page. It's just learning.
And what happened next then?
It still is happening. Other civilizations are just, when they get taken over, they move to another existence. They build themselves another environment, and they just keep moving and moving. And darkness was just keep following them wherever they went. They were taken as slaves. It was terrible. But Earth now, this is where a change is going to happen now. This is the crux of it. We're going to stop it. We're going to stop this from happening. Because we had a lot of the ones that were escaping come to Earth. We have become one from different civilizations, different learnings. Even the dark are here. We're here to learn. But the light's going to win here because there's so many of us here, from the Pleiades, from the Taurians. A lot of civilizations are here. We have interbred to make us stronger.
Tell me what happened there.
They all came here to give their knowledge. They came here to give their knowledge to help. And we had to learn the vibrations, the different vibrations. Some had music, some had the water vibrations, some had the light of the sun. Sun plays a big part. simplicity of that sun. The sun's a beautiful being. So much light, so much energy, so beautiful. There's a lot of people, a lot of entities actually live in the sun, and they are like asleep, like they're dreaming. And they dream, they connect. They dream. They dream to connect, to give their information to those that are here. And so do all the others. They connect to the beings that are their family that are here. They're never alone. They're never alone. When they come here, they're not alone. They're here to help. Because once we heal here, it's like being challenged like a river, like a volcano that has its running streams of hot lava. Because the ones that are, all civilizations all have their good and bad, light and dark. And they've had enough. They want to change it. So what they do is they send their energy to here, because we're getting to a point where it will change everything. And those that can't stand the light will retract back and be taken back into source. And they'll be free then to be able to live a life of beauty, of light, of knowledge. And what has happened in our universes and multi-universes, because it's gone not just to this one, it affects, like Hanshima did when we ripped it a hole through the time-space reality. We went into a lot of other dimensions. Earth is not just one Earth. It is multi-dimensional, vibrating at different vibrations, and in each of those vibrations there are different civilizations, different types of being with different knowledge, different understanding. And what they're doing is they're bringing all those dimensions into one, lining them up to become positive and negative change. They're bringing it into one, so we'll be free of both sides. I see an up and down line of existence. We will have a choice once we know, just to drop in and to experience it. Like we'll all know who we are. And if we just decide to go and have a life in a negative situation, off we pop, and then come back. We've done that. Or you can go and have in a beautiful civilization that is all one. Or communicate with even the trees, and every existence there, the earth, the planet itself. You become one with it. It's beautiful. And you experience everything that is there in that creation. So we will have a choice to just experience, but we will know with knowledge what we're doing, because it'll be just like reading a book. And at the end we know that we will just come back to that neutral. We bring everything into neutral here, now. Very important. That's why we've had so much fights. We've had a lot of fighting over this planet. But now we have a federation of worlds just of this world, but many dimensional worlds, existences that are here to observe how good we can be. Oh, we are clever. We've come from everywhere. The best of the best. And what we do is, because we are connected to these other worlds, it transfers back into their dream state, because we're all dreaming. It's just a dream. Why are we all dreaming? Wake up. Wake up. Why are we dreaming? Our higher selves are actually just dreaming this state of being. In the dream, we're awake. The dreamer is awake. We're just dreaming this. Why are we dreaming such horrible things? Experience. Why would we do such horrible things to each other?
Why?
Because we were tempted. We were tempted. It'd be fun to go over there and just see what we could do in the other side. Then we get in and we can't get out. Because when you're there, it's kind of fun doing what you're doing.
Like an adventure sort of
thing. Yeah, so it's just fun doing what you're doing. You don't know really that you're doing wrong. And we don't really understand until they gave us emotions, feelings. It's just a game. And then once Source gave us to acknowledge what we were doing, that's when the pain came. And we knew we were hurting others. That was wrong. We've got to wake up from the dream. When we wake up from the dream, we become one. We will know ourselves. We won't want to hurt anybody or anything. Everything is so precious. Everything's been created for a reason. To look at something, when you look at a butterfly, you don't look at how it was really created. It's beautiful. That's what we've got to learn, is to get rid of our old shell. Because once we get rid of our old shell, this avatar, we are light. We're light beings. We can go and do anything. We have so much knowledge. And we're in that stage now of discarding the heavy material, the heavy thoughts, and becoming light beings, like ethereal beings. We have a long way to go yet. But some are doing it. Some are doing it. Some are releasing themselves from the shackles and can do it. And that's when this is why we are so precious here. Because we can do it.
So tell me what's Kat's mission for being here then?
To carry the light. Seeing so much. And knows the difference. She knows what it feels like to be out of the body. How easy, how light, without carrying the weight of humanity. Still people playing in silly things. She She has knowledge. She has keys to unlock. She doesn't know she's doing it though. Dimensions, unlocking dimensions.
Well, what is she actually doing when she thinks that she's in the dream state?
She's been the dreamer. She's looking from the dream state of the dreamer.
Mm-hmm. She's had so many different experiences.
Or bringing those experiences into one, from the negative and the positive, into the neutral zone. We're all one, you know. We're all one. And they're just aspects of her. Like a finger, like a hand, like a part of the body. The foot's got to know what the hand is doing. The toe, everything's got to know what it's doing. So aspects of each of those are.
They're all the same thing though, really.
They are, yes, really they are. And what they're doing is they're coming together with all their experiences. It's like having your own. You are we're a part of a higher understanding, and we've split off from that understanding. From that split off, we've become different aspects. And those aspects have gone off and had their own little experiences, and now they're all being drawn back.
Why are they all being drawn back?
Because it's time. It's time to come back, because a new reality is going to be created. A new reality is going to be created where we will be, not just have like 1,000 different types of butterflies, we're going to have thousands of different civilizations, and we'll all intermingle together. We will bring back all the knowledge of multiverses. Here is where the book closes and opens again. So all knowledge is going to come back. And we're going through a time where Source has already given its time that this game must finish. And a new civilization, a new book is going to start. But with this book, we're going to have all species of the universe come, and Earth has been chosen for that. All aspects of different logos are going to share, but we're all going to be in like trying to see what we look like. Do we look like? We're not heavy. We're not heavy, we're all light. And if we want to touch a tree, the tree can become us. You can know what, but we are single. We are.
We're single but part of the same.
Yes, and we know this. We know we have been given this aspect of ourselves, of being our own self. But yet we can become or experience that thing. And with the other civilizations that are going to come and live among us, we will have a friendship where we can touch each other and experience the knowledge of that, what that civilization has been through, and never to repeat some of them again. This world is going to be so beautiful. It's going to be, once again, the living library that was meant to be. It was meant to be. I was actually a guardian of that library. That's why I'm so sad. I watched the books, the lives, the stories, the creations, people's imaginations, not just one butterfly. Let's create another, let's create another, let's create another.
So what happened now? What happened in that experience?
It was destroyed. Jealousy, the negative sides, those emotions that we have, jealousy took over. The library wasn't destroyed, it was protected. It was protected for quite a long time. It was protected, but in another dimension. When the others came in, it was thicker. The energy was thicker, and it vibrated in such low density that only this is why we have bodies now, because we needed that density to experience the things that we experience here. It's still a library where we learn, and it's more about the emotions now, not the creativity, but the emotions. But we are going back. We're going to free ourselves. Some don't want to. Some don't want to. Some are happy to do what they want to do. That's fine. That's fine to let them play and have their... But the hurting of each other is wrong. But in the light body, when we leave the density of our bodies, and this is only the first level, there's many levels, we will still have a body as such.
It'll just be different.
It'll be different, yeah. It'll be more awareness of the body. We'll get to the stage where eventually we won't need food. We won't need water. We will absorb through our skin. Light. And the light will make us become lighter.
So tell me, why is it important for all the UFO sightings and that now?
Because they are showing us that we are not alone in the universe, that we are a part of a bigger plan. It's the start. It's the start. It is the start of these civilizations becoming a part of this library and be known by each other. It would be like living on this planet but not know what an elephant looked like. We need to know each other. They are coming and going all the time, but we don't know each other. They experience this world in different dimensions, because this world, Earth, is so many dimensions. It vibrates at so many different dimensions, and they come in and out, and they live on those different vibrations because they're lighter. Some are heavier, but they're coming and going. But we need to know each other. We need to come as one to understand and to bring their knowledge here, so we become the library again. That's why they're coming. They're coming, and the children are the ones that are going to they're hybrids. They are from different civilizations put together with the humans. That's why they've taken our DNA, our eggs, our sperm, to make part human, part other species, because these are the ones that are going to teach and bring the earth to a higher vibration, because they're vibrating higher.
So tell me, what's the connection hybrid children?
She has children. when she was in her teenage years, she lived at Nimbin, and they used to come in. And they've taken her eggs. She has hybrid children.
So tell me about that.
The children will help bring the other civilizations to this planet because they have the knowledge. And they will teach. They'll be the teachers. They'll let us understand that we are just a part of the same as part of the planet itself. We are organic, we are nature, and we are nature, and we must become back to being nature and respect everything. Respect everything. And they will be our teachers to show us that we are nature and to don't chop down the trees. Don't have rubbish. Don't rubbish the seas. They will give a different vibration, and when you're near them, the vibration will penetrate and change your vibration by just being near them.
And what about the connection to the greys? What's that connection there?
The greys are the ones that used her eggs to make the hybrids. When the inner Sunny, which is the inner Sunnies were, my understanding of the inner Sunnies were, they had a planet the same as they were humans. They were one of the first civilizations when it went into darkness. The earth was into darkness. And it was, the greys were humans, but their technology got to them. And they thought they were smart. They had all this technology. The technology corrupted their minds and their vibrations to the point that they thought that they lost the connection to Source. They went underground. And to go underground, they had to minute into something different. That's why their eyes have got covers on them now. They lost their emotions. They couldn't have children anymore. And they were down there because they could live quite a long time. They were transmuting themselves, always upgrading themselves, and they became half robotic because they couldn't, their bodies just kept on deteriorating, and they knew that their species would die out. So they came, because their planet was so diseased on the outside from all the toxins, they knew they couldn't live above the earth. But while they were underground, they had been looked upon by Source, knowing that there was another. They still had the chance to redeem themselves, and they were thrown into another aspect into another reality. When they came up above the earth, their earth at the time, which is another earth that vibrates at another dimension to ours, they had lost the human side of them. They had no emotions. They were skinny. They were little. Great technology, but they had lost the source, the love, the light. They lost it.
It didn't mean anything.
No. So they were given another chance. And the chance was they were opened when Hiroshima happened, and they tore a hole into our dimension. another space-time dimension, they could come in. They came in, but this was in another, this is now, but in another timeline.
Mm-hmm.
They came in and they were allowed, they made an agreement. Not with just our ones that were ruling us, but also of the ones that were looking after Earth, the Space Command. They made a deal that they could take and regenerate themselves and create their own species again, to give them another hope, so that their souls could come back into these new bodies with a different light, with feelings, because as they have used our DNA, they now can love, feel, have emotions again.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about that civilization? Because there was a dream we came to in that civilization, and it sounds a little bit.
It's not the same one. It's not the same one. No, that was another planet she went on.
Tell me about that. What was that experience about?
She was going home, just to remind her that she's here for a mission. But home will always be there, though. When I go back, I'll be welcomed back, knowing that I've done my mission. The Earth has parts of itself that allows and not allows. It has different energies. And on this planet that I was on, I'm a part of that energy field of that planet.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge, understanding.
So why did she go? Why did she leave that planet then?
Because I was called. Not that they wanted me to go, but I was a part of the creation of that planet. And it's like a part of that planet was splitting to come to this planet to give a part of its knowledge to Gaia. That's why she's here. Like this. I'm not whole. My planet isn't a whole without me.
Mm-hmm.
The planet that I live in is a whole. It vibrates together. It doesn't vibrate singly. It is like a hive mind. Understanding. Here, it's so separate. But Earth was, at one time, she was the library. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. She had so much aspect, so much beauty. But slowly, density took over. The thoughts, the vibrations that were brought in here when they came, when they lived their own planets with their own fighting went on, they destroyed each other, they would come here. They'd bring their vibrations, their energy here.
Mm.
They lost themselves. Earth, she needs to come back to her own beauty again and know we are all here to help her.
Mm-hmm.
To bring her back. She's so split, so many dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Need to bring her back to one. Bring her back beautifully, and then we can all go home. The new children will be the ones that will be the custodians
They'll
of
be
the
the
planet.
custodians.
Yes.
Mm.
They will be the one. They'll bring it back to be beautiful.
Mm.
They are overseen by many. It's like it will be governed by many. Have learnt, and they now know that It has to be governed by one, not singly. And those that are here in the Galactic Federation will make sure that that will never happen again. It is so guarded now. She's changing. They can't come in anymore. They cannot come. It's been closed. The borders have been closed for her to regenerate, to move up her vibration, to move up wherever they can't come in. This is why we are here, to bring those that our vibrations are not low. They can stay or they can move. They have their choice. But she's going to move. We're going to make sure she's going to move. She needs to be released. Let go of the net and let her move. She wants to be beautiful again, and she needs to be. And the sun has given her blessing to do so. And we will be moved into another quadrant, another area, a space where she can do so. They've gone to prepare that space for her to move into. It's a different. It's not a space as such. It's a dimension. It's a different area.
Yeah.
Completely different. Where she cannot be touched. She's going to be so a little bit isolated, where she can heal. And we're all here to help her do that. Once she gets that, the children will then be custodians. And they will become a part of nature, and they will be able to. And it will be where other civilizations can be given permission. Their governed people can come and see what they can do to their own planets and their own civilizations to help, to see, they're watching, to see if we can do it, so can they. If we can come out of such darkness into light, so can they. And the wars will stop. That's what it's about.
It's almost like leading by example.
Exactly. Exactly. And the children will be beautiful. They will not need of the earth. They will be a part of the earth. They will vibrate with the earth. And you can only come here by invitation. You cannot just come here when it's finished. But there'll be many of earths that people can experience, but not this one.
Not this one.
Not this one. Because we have so much, when the civilizations many thousands of years ago, it sat on the end of the galactic area, and all civilizations used to come past, and they used to leave a part of themselves here. That's why we have so many species, because it's them. We have planets of animals that have their own civilizations on those planets, and they brought a part of themselves here, and it becomes the library. And if there's the reason why they did that, because there was so many wars, so much overtaking, that they thought if anything ever happened, they could come back and get their blueprint from what was here.
I see.
So Earth is a blueprint. It's a blueprint of all of existence itself is here.
Existence, experience and information.
Yes, is here. Is here. It is the blueprint of existence. And if anything, of all these other light beings that want to experience something else, if they can play in their own little experience and destroy themselves, when they come to light, they can come back and know themselves as who they should be, of light, of knowledge, of understanding, of where they came from. So Source will never not exist. Existence is just to exist. We are here to just exist.
wants to know who is her galactic family?
They all are. They all are. They're her family. Her family. They are here as her support team. They could not interfere in her first half of her life because she had to ground. She had to know. She had to be a part of the earth. Had to be a part of this. And she'll be a part of the introduction of the new hybrid children. All of them, all civilizations want to be a part of the new earth. They want to have a part of themselves there. Yeah. And they all have knowledge, and this will be the grandest of all. It's ever been created. It's been put together by so many.
So can I ask, what happened on the 8th of July there? She wants to know who scanned her body there.
It was the Galactics. They did it. The brain, the human brain that you're born with is different. It vibrates differently. And it had to be changed. It had to vibrate. It had to acknowledge. To even put her on the ship, we had to change. For her to separate from the body, it had to change. It was too dense. So what happens now is when she goes, she can bring her thought patterns with her in the light body, where before the vibrations of the brain were so dense, they can't go with her. They had to stay behind. So there wasn't much we could get from her. Once the brain, the nervous system had to be changed. The patterns had to change. It had to come more light than dense. The pineal gland had to be able to be opened, to be able to see where she was going to acknowledge what was going on. And that will come more open. And as the earth changes and she needs to change with it, she'll be able to see the new humans, be able to see who she's communicating with more and more. But at the moment, it has to stay the way that it is.
So it's just a continuation.
It will continue to open. The pineal gland will continue to open as we feel, as the earth changes, so will she.
Yeah.
We will watch that. She gets taken on board quite often and examined.
She does.
We keep an eye on her. The senses we have on her read back to us. And she also has a screening. The screening keeps an eye on her heart and all her organs.
What was the purpose? She felt something like radiation or something like that came through her body once.
That was so she could leave her body, to release it. It's not anchored anymore. She was anchored, now she's not.
Beautiful.
And to do the healing, our bodies carry so much. These bodies are just so many organisms in them. Yeah. It was just to realign everything. It wasn't pleasant, but
it was necessary.
It was necessary because the body has been manipulated and changed so much. We are being interbred. The human body itself that she now inhibits, which is a human body that we come into. Yeah. It's an avatar. And the avatars are being changed, manipulated so much to the original species that was created for this planet, interbred, that it's caused its own demise, really. And for her, and this is one of the things that had happened with all the changing, it stopped the the light body being able to, because we could always leave our bodies. It was a part of what we could do. We were interdimensional. We could walk into other dimensions and experience other dimensions.
Yeah.
We can't do that anymore because we were so anchored in the body. And what the radiation did was release, it's like burning off all those tethers that she had anchored in the body. So the body, when the ethereal body came in, it was anchored. Now we needed to be released. And we were releasing all those tethers that this body was born with.
And she wanted to know what was happening in the base of her neck.
It was the opening of the pineal gland, and her chakras had to be opened, which also allowed the dream chakra, which is outside of the body at the back of the neck, to be opened. And the brain needed to be recalibrated.
Yeah. And she wants to know about that when she saw the Book of Lives. Or she saw some scenes there at the same time.
It was connecting all those lives, because we all live, we have different aspects of ourselves. Coming back to what the story she's been telling you is, from creation we've gone out from the main logos and has had logos, I call it the logos, the main body of our dreaming state, to go and experience all this. She's had, in that wasn't her, it is a part of her logos that's gone off and had these experiences, but all those parts of herself are now coming back into one, and she's remembering when that state comes back into one, that one becomes the all. And every dimension that she's gone off and played in is coming back into one with experiences. And the experience will be her book of life. And you had to have that experience. When you have that experience, you have that knowledge. And when you have that knowledge, you have the feelings that all go with it. And you become one. You know everything. You've experienced love. She's been a hierarchy. She's been a queen. She's been a princess. She's lived in poverty. She's lived with so much money, so much wealth, everything around her. But she's also been nature. She's been a tree. She's been a flower. She's been a piece of grass that's been cut. She's been everything. But to know everything, to be everything, you must have experienced it.
You have to go through the experience.
That's right. And that aspect, that one is coming back into one with all these experiences, and she's all that is happening is that aspect of herself is joining the one, and she's taking in, because she's become the one, or part of the one. And what's happening is, as in the dream state at night, when the consciousness is out of the way, she's remembering, and as those parts of herself come back and join, sometimes there's a lot of experiences happening with that one part, and she's absorbing it into herself, because she's becoming a part of the one.
It's like it's almost integrating back.
Yes. And it can be so confusing, because some of these aspects have had different experiences. And they're all experiences.
They're just experiences.
They're just experiences. She's been on a planet that's been absolutely beautiful, and she's been on a planet that's been at war. She knows it all. And she's just bringing those aspects back, so when she becomes one again, and can then have a choice to go back and have another experience in another book,
She can if she wants to.
She will have all that knowledge with her. So all that knowledge that she will have and has experienced, she has a choice. She she'll have a choice to do what she wants to do. We are more than what we think we are. And the beings that are looking after us are our guides. These, what she calls the Galactic Federation, are all a part of herself, just looking after her.
Mm-hmm. Now, she wants to know who came and spoke to her on the 15th of September in 16 in that blue room, in it, the room change.
They were the beings that are making the energies, the beings that are making the energy for the new earth.
Beautiful. Tell me about them.
They're part of source. They vibrate at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
They're creators, beautiful in themselves, have been and experienced everything. They know themselves. They know who they are. They know what they're here for. They are part of creation. They are the creating beings. And they're creating that new space for Earth, for Gaia to reside in. And though in that space, that dimension that they're creating is it needs those higher vibrational beings for her to exist in that existence. And they will be also the guardians of that, and is a part of them. When they were created, so was she. She's not alone. She's not alone. She knows that she's not alone. And if she goes off the path, we put her back on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's got many around her. We can awaken the body, but she's already given permission to do that before she even came into this body. She has signposts that will allow us to, at certain times, to remind her why she's here and to keep her on her mission. And there's so many of us now. We are creating like a grid of vibration that will lift the planet out of the density into another vibration.
And can you tell me, she wants to know, who were those two men who came to visit her?
They were from the Galactic Federation.
She sort of regrets not seeing them now.
She does. She does. Because she had information. They were the ones that were going to explain to her about going on board. Because when you go on board this ship, it is an observation ship of Earth, what's happening now, they're observing. And also on that ship are the Galactic Federation, and they all come from different vibrations. But they're all here for different reasons. Some are here just to observe, some are here to help, and some are here just to see if we can do it. Right? They all influence each other. It's a learning. It's really a learning for them as well. It's like a learning school on this ship. It has a lot of species on it. It has many layers. It is very big. It's like a city.
Yeah.
They can come and go. They even watch their own planets. They can their own planets they watch. But ours at the moment, this is the biggest thing that has ever happened, and they are all watching. And they were here to tell her in the physical, that everything's fine, everything's on plan, everything's going well. She was because she was so in the mind of so much going on and so confused, that she didn't want to add more confusion to that. But we were only here as we only came, and now I'm talking through them, we only came as a messenger to let her realise that she wasn't going mad, that everything is on track, and the watchers are very impressed. They're a part of Earth, what's going on here. They bringing the love vibration also here. She's also a part of that energy. They help her, connect with her. They dream with her to let her know that everything's fine.
And can you tell me, why did you show her that wall when she went, right at the beginning, when she went down the river, she came up against that wall?
The wall is a block that she's put up because she feels, is this all a dream? Which we are all dreaming. This is just a dream anyway. Source is just dreaming us. She is just dreaming.
Yeah.
It is having its isness by dreaming us who we are. And she's putting up the wall because she's had so many experiences, knows so much, that the wall is there because she likes it. She likes having all these other identities, these other lives, these other experiences. And she doesn't want that to be taken away from her. But it's not going to be taken away from her. It's going to be amplified. And she doesn't realise this. So the wall's there really, she's put up the wall for herself. She's put it up to still be anchored with her loved ones.
Yeah.
That's why she's done it.
So,
but as we've told her before and told them, her other selves, that she has aspects of herself, is that they are different aspects. They have to do their own thing. They have their own free will. They're not being taken away from her.
No.
She's just here. She volunteered to have them taken away, to drop down. She had to drop down into another density, and she needs to understand that they'll be all given back. She'll get her wings back. She'll get them back. And her mission will be accomplished. And we're just all here to help her. I'm talking as her higher self now. I do talk to her. She just needs to listen. She just needs to listen.
And trust.
She needs to listen and trust. And don't be so worried about eating the food. Don't worry about anything. If we need her not to eat the food, we will make her sick, or she will give it a bitter taste that she will not eat it or not want it. Or we'll give her a massive headache and say, see, we told you not to drink that. So we will look after her. We have ways to do that.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes they're very uncomfortable ways, but they have to be done.
Yeah.
And this is not her last mission. She's got plenty more missions to do. She'll go to another planet and do the same thing again because that's what she does best. So this won't be her last.
It'll just be another chapter in her book.
It'll be another chapter and another mission she will go on. Yeah. But it's just when this hard density reality that she lives in, it's hard for her to acknowledge why she's here. Yeah. And we all question that when we're brought down to such low density.
Yeah, of course.
But we have so many that look after us when we're here. And thank you, John, for allowing this to happen.
Thank you. Do you have one last message that you want to give to her?
She's loved and cared for very much. And Earth, Gaia, Tira is so grateful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome, and thank you. Thank you, John. We are very grateful.